Why relationships with narcissistic parents, partners, and bosses are a public health crisis. Imagine a stressor that doesn't end when the workday is over. It lives in your childhood memories, sleeps beside you in your marriage, signs your paycheck. Now imagine that stressor slowly altering your nervous system, immune responses, self-concept, and lifespan. While society may call it a difficult personality or a just family dynamics. This is not rare. This is not private. This is not benign. Relationships with narcissistic parents, spouses, and authority figures are not just interpersonal. They are a public health issue hiding in plain sight. They are not interpersonal problems. My name is Fawzia Faizi Shah, licensed clinical social worker. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Narcissistic relational environments are defined by chronic emotional invalidation, control, unpredictability, and psychological threat. Research consistently has shown us that prolonged exposure to these dynamics is associated with complex PTSD, anxiety and depressive disorders, somatic symptoms and autoimmune dysregulations, substance misuse, cardiovascular disease, increased suicide risk. Why? Because the human brain and the body interprets relational danger the same way it interprets physical danger. So when the person who is supposed to protect, love, mentor, or lead instead exploits, humiliates, gaslights, or withholds, the nervous system never stands down. This is not about the ego. This is about toxic stress. And toxic stress, especially when interpersonal and inescapable, is one of the strongest predictors of long-term disease outcomes identified in public health research. Across narcissistic family systems, romantic partnerships, and workplace, the pattern is strikingly consistent. Idolization, the parent praises conditionally, the partner love bombs, the boss mentors intensely, devaluation, boundaries are punished, autonomy is framed as betrayal, criticism replaces connection, control through confusion, gaslighting erodes reality, testing, intermittent reinforcements strengthens the trauma bonds. The victim works harder to earn safety. Internalization over time, the individual no longer asks, is this abusive? They ask, well, what's wrong with me? Neurobiologically, this creates hypervigilance, shame-based identity formation, and dysregulated stress responses. Children raised by narcissistic parents show altered attachment patterns and heightened cortisol reactivity. Parents partnered with narcissistic spouses demonstrate symptoms nearly indistinguishable from survivors of prolonged captivity. Employees under narcissistic leadership shows high burnout, depression, and turnover at massive economic costs. This is systemic harm, not isolated dysfunction. Public health frameworks already recognizes that what happens repeatedly in close relationships shapes population-level outcomes. It's time that narcissistic relationship abuses is recognized the same way as domestic violence, workplace harassment, childhood neglect. We need trauma-informed education in schools and in workplaces, early screening in healthcare settings, clinical training and distinguishes narcissistic abuse from normal conflict, cultural language that names psychological harm without minimizing it. And most importantly, we need to stop asking survivors why they stayed and complied or didn't speak up. The better question is really asking, why did we normalize relationships that systematically injures the human nervous system? Awareness is not about blame, it's about prevention. Because when millions of people are shaped by invisible relational trauma, the cost is not just personal. We must start to educate ourselves, and we need to educate our children and everyone, to educate them about the narcissistic personality disorders and how relationships look like if you're in a healthy relationship versus a relationship with a narcissist. I think we need to make public awareness about the narcissistic personality. The damage is so huge on a human being that it is time that we need to speak up. Thank you so much. If this video was that you liked and is resonated with you, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment or two for me to let me know if you were in a relationship with a narcissist and what kind of effects it had on you physically and psychologically. Thank you so much and have a great day.